सिन्हा, श्री भरलकर, हमारे सुरेश जी, who is our inspiration in Star Agri, Amit and our other directors, Ajay Chhakhar, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to be in this meeting. Most of what I have to say has already been said by the Joint Secretary, so I have only to dot a few I's and cross a few T's and I hope to do it in not that much of time. When we talk about commodity financing, we are talking about price discovery. And then the question becomes, do we have markets and prices which are signalers of what is going to happen, which is a question which Parvesh Sharma raised. Because if this can be done, then commodity financing is in a kind of dynamic economy. Policy making, of course, is saying this. The Prime Minister has experience from Gujarat. So the manifesto of the ruling party talked about the use of ICT for agricultural markets in specific terms. So I think this aspect is something that you might really like to look at, although I agree with Parvesh Sharma, and I'll get to that a little later, that the question of structures is very important, and technology, of course, only plays a role in that context. Now, actually what happens is that price discovery, as far as official policies are concerned, is done through regulated markets. And government promotes them, APMCs. There is legislation for this. But a lot of agriculture, commodity trade and financing takes place outside these markets. In fact, I wrote a book once on the future of Indian agriculture. Happy to report to you that it met the market test, it sold out, and I'm quite happy because it gives me good royalty. But we discovered that there are, just in Gujarat, there are 1800 census towns, which are actually towns, but are not counted as towns by the My Baap Sarkar. So then there is no question of those markets. That's where the Kisan Compensation is being talked about as official markets. And this creates a lot of problems. I think Parvesh Sharma gave you many insights into what is happening in Madhya Pradesh and so on. I don't want to get into that. I have a written speech where some of that is there. But let me give you an example. Since JS is there, his experience is a lot more than mine because he has been a collector. But I'd gone to Dahod, where Sadhguru is one of our biggest trusts working on tribals in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat, and I'm their advisor. And when I was getting back that evening, Sharmishta made some Adivasi ladies who had gotten into some of these crops that Mr. Sharma was talking about, fruits, vegetables, they were selling up to Surat. And I'm very unhappy to report to you that when I was getting back to Ahmedabad at Dahod, there was a crowd and I stopped the car. One of those ladies was hit by an SUV around the corner. This is what markets in India mean. The farmer comes there to these thousands of census towns. They sit on the road. The demand is there, he's quite right. The income elasticity of demand for non-grains is between 1.5 to 2. So if you grow at 6%, and we hope we will grow at 6%, and this year will be, the last year will be that. But we are not creating the infrastructure where the farmer comes. We need physical markets with facilities and services, and markets where transactions take place. And then some of the things that we are talking about, so that Star Agri doesn't become an exception. Creating collateral around crops. The JS is quite right, land is not a collateral in India until we sort out the land market. And that has become so complicated right now that I even stopped writing about it. But the producer companies, I think with due respects to the official figures, and I blame NABARD for that because they have, their futures group gave those numbers. But there are a lot of producer companies which are not registered. And in fact, I think the sector is much bigger than what we bring it up to be. And Pratham itself has a list of producer companies which are not registered, are more than half of the total areas in which they work. And then there are other newer models. I was on the board of a Tata company and all Tata directors retire at 75. So Ratan Tata retired 2 months before me because he became 75 2 months before me. But I tried to push them. Tata Chemicals is a big Tata company into agriculture. And their story with agriculture, no, agriculture is bad news. But finally, they work with producer companies through Rallis. And iShakti Pulses is a great success. So the point is that if you create organizations, then the collateral issue, which is the issue that Star Agri create, this thing is resolved. Now, it can be said, see, you look at it in a slightly different way, and I think Sharma did it very well. Markets are thin, so the price discovery business becomes very difficult. But I think you had your finger on the pulse when you started talking about when markets are thin, what do you do? And that only you can do. We can only all help. And I think that kind of a partnership, because if markets are thin, the argument then is not that you do what we have done to pulses with due respect to the JS. I mean, stocking limits. This is Second World War with anybody who is. And if you do all that, what is the commodity financing and price discovery that we are talking about? Fortunately, he was telling me that most of it is हाथी के दांत दिखाने के दूसरे होते हैं, खाने के दूसरे होते हैं. Because we know that all of this never led to one more grain of pulse going into anybody's mouth. And the real issue is to strengthen markets. Now that means you have to create markets. That means that where there is speculation, you have to strengthen the market structure. Punish by all means those who violate the law. You have been a collector and you know what is to be done there. But beyond that, the positive role of creating market infrastructure, of creating incentive systems, of creating price discovery is something that government has to play a major role. And that is something which I think is not taking place the way it should and the way it can. I have a written speech where I've told you who's responsible for prices. And the NABARD chief also told you how these things are important. I was asked by the National Statistical Commission, JSR, on the revamping of statistics in India to write the volume on agricultural statistics. I don't know if it has been brought to your attention. I will send it to you. But the thing is that there is a whole section on what you said, on globalization, trade, on price discovery. And somehow or the other, our agricultural statistics system works. It has its own dynamics, if you like. And I'm very fond of both the Metwalas and statisticians. I'm actually a past president of the Indian Econometric Societies. And And I think the meteorological people and statisticians are like the guys next door. They don't beat their wife, they pay their taxes. They do a very difficult job and we criticize them all the time. But I think it's very important that we realize that they have to be supported in making price data available. Too often we want to show prices and not reason. I don't know if things have changed. I know when I was minister and member of parliament, we all know to say, nahi, bahut to nahi badega. So that is the antithesis of price discovery. If prices are rising, if you let it be known that prices are rising, if the Joint Secretary is right, which he is, that you are talking about crops where markets and economics are important, demand and supply, then recognizing it will mean that the future rise will be less. Now, I make that as a statement, and I'm sure nobody can contradict me on that because I get a pension as a former professor of economics, and it's very straightforward economics, that prices, knowledge and information by itself leads to smoothing of prices and less instability rather than more. And too often we use the thin market argument to avoid markets and their functioning. So, I would argue that, like any other market, commodity futures also play a very valuable role in information pooling and risk sharing. The market mediates between buyers and sellers of commodities and facilitates decisions relating to storage and consumption of commodities. In the process, groups like Star Agri or producer companies with which they are linked, they make the underlying market more liquid. The government, of course, is working at two levels. On one hand, they make all commodities eligible for futures trading. And the organizations are listed. But on the other hand, you get these draconian measures which work on the quantitative side and use the police. Now, fortunately, we are told that these are not being used that much, and in a way, there is the central banking rule that if the central bank says that it will raise the interest rate, that by itself has a dampening effect. And if government says that you can go to jail, that by itself has a dampening effect. But on the other hand, I think it's extremely important that we use other measures to control prices. So I would request if you can look into some of these issues. The whole question of creating infrastructure of markets and therefore price discovery at the level of where the action takes place, which is the census town. The census town, incidentally, is not, Joint Secretary, a place from where you get quotations for agricultural prices, because they come from the Directorate of Marketing. So that is the level of dissonance. Now, if everybody here, including Star Agri, wants to do this, they have to create their own system of price discovery. We know it. We have to create our own system of market intelligence. Of course, that is always a part of the game. How you play with prices and markets and your skills in terms of improving will mean how much of money you will make as compared to the next guy. But you shouldn't be doing the basic function, which is the function of the government, which is generating information. So, generating information for the present, more important, creating the conditions in which the futures can work, and doing so on a global plane, which involves, again, a whole set of other issues, the linkage with the Chicago commodity exchanges or whatever is going on in the world. These are the kinds of issues which I think we need reasonable assurances from policymakers that they will be met. We now have a brilliant economist who's there for the agricultural sector. Ramesh Chand is truly an outstanding person. And Ajay was telling me that they had a very good meeting with Dr. Panagria. So we hope that policy making will give a good hearing to what you have to say. The GS being here is a very great honor to us. So if we can convince the Ministry of Agriculture and then go ahead and get support from the planning people and the Ministry of Finance, then I'm sure that we will move ahead in this whole question. But as I said, I think the thing to do is to concentrate on essentials, and sooner or later the rest of it will be taken care of. And the fact that all of you are here shows that there are great energies which are there waiting to unleash themselves to make Indian agriculture the buoyant global agent that we hope it will be in the years and decades to come. Thank you.